Happy Thursday morning, everyone.
That was my part.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Happy Thursday morning, everyone.
Thursday!
Yeah, well, it's still set. That was yesterday. So happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today we were talking about max betting. Should you do it? We've gotten a lot of comments from people over the years that have always said, always max bet, always max bet.
And that's true sometimes.
True sometimes, but not always. Let's talk about it today. All right, as always, we want to welcome you to the Gamble Smart channel. If you're new here, we certainly want you to subscribe and give us a thumbs up and click that bell for notifications because we talk about gambling tips and tricks and education every single day of the week, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central Time. We'd love you to be part of that.
Don't want you to miss a thing.
No. So today we were talking about when should you max bet, and it's kind of a loaded question. The quick answer, it depends on the game. But
It always depends on the game.
Yeah, but we're going to give you some advice on what to look for. And here's our advice. You should always be betting enough on a game that you can cover all available features that are being offered by that game. So if it's the type of game that has like a respin feature and a free games bonus and a progressive feature and all that, you want to make sure that whatever you're betting, it is high enough to cover all those things. And that, if that requires you to go down in a denomination in order to do that, you really should do that.
Yep.
Because when the game's ultimate return to player math is figured out for that game and programmed into it, it's assuming that most players are going to play to cover all of those features. And so by not doing
counting
that,
on it even.
Yeah, counting on it. I mean, think of like Wheel of Fortune or Top Dollar. If you don't bet enough to get that bonus, your return to player is shot because your potential is disappearing quickly because you didn't do enough to cover that bonus round, which is where most of the return to player occurs. So how do you do this? Well, always look at the game rules, okay? Again, I hope you're looking at the game rules, but
read carefully. Don't just glance.
Yeah,
read.
You have to read carefully.
Look for the fine print too that's on the corners because that's what people miss.
It's true. And also read the bet panels. I understand they can get very confusing looking sometimes, but they will suggest or tell you what you need to bet in order to cover all of these features. So do you always max bet? No. And here's the situation where you don't need to. If you're looking at a game, a very simplistic game like Double Diamond or Triple Stars, and you notice that the difference between a 1-credit bet and a max bet is just a multiplier of your credits, then it is not, there is no benefit for you. No advantage to max betting, so feel comfortable with just betting one. But if you're playing Double Top Dollar or Wheel of Fortune or anything that has a free games bonus or something and it requires you to max bet, please max bet because you're doing yourself a big disservice.
Otherwise, you're just playing a poor game in the first place.
You're right. So Dave has actually been working on some cool stuff for Class 2. And so what is this, Dave? What is this thing?
So this is my max bet blocker button. It is finally ready. You see I've got it, even a hole drilled in there so you can put it on one of those little lanyards so you don't look stupid. Like I don't look stupid.
Yeah.
But
you kind of already look stupid.
In the Class 2 games, this was meant for the games that you can go uncontrollably quickly out of when you get that max bet button. So the 5 cent, the 10 cent, especially the 5 reels, the max bet goes up to 180 credits. Once you start getting to quarters, that's $45.
Yeah,
there's a 10-cent game in here that goes up to 80 bucks.
Yeah.
And then you can have these $1 and $5 games where the max bet is 25 credits.
Yeah.
You want to be watching out for this. And so this button prevents you from hitting it.
Yeah.
Those bets, now while they can be lucrative if you hit it right, they can also drain your budget in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. And we've done them accidentally many times.
Many times. That's why this thing came about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't need to bet max on any of the Class 2 games. It's all a multiplier of your bet.
That's right.
I am perfectly happy betting a 54 credits on a 5-cent game, which is like $2 and something cents. And that bet right there is an affordable bet.
Yeah.
It's repeatable within my budget. And if I hit something great, all I know is I'm getting a multiplier of my bet. I'm not in a bad spot.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people.
These will be in the store soon.
Yeah, a lot of you probably don't understand like why this is so weird. Why would we have this? If you've ever played at WinStar or Choctaw Durant or any Class 2, you know exactly what he's talking about because they move the max bet button around too. So sometimes, and we'll show you, we'll drop a little video here. Sometimes it's over on the left. Sometimes it's over on the right.
And they do that on purpose.
Absolutely.
Trying to confuse you. Messing up.
Doing that max bet. And if it was the difference between a 1 and 3 credit, big deal. But we're talking about 9 all the way up to 180. That's a big range.
That's a large range that can just, I mean, it's done it to me.
yeah.
I've hit it by mistake
I have
when
too.
I've had one spin left at
Yeah.
max bet.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no.
Oh man.
Now, has
That
it
could have
worked
been
out
20 spins.
sometimes? Very rarely. It works out more for Mark than it does for me.
I
It
don't know
works
about
out
that.
very rarely
Just that
for
you
me.
see anyway.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thing, is preventing those max bets in that situation. But like Mark said, you're playing at something with a bonus game, you may need to bet max in order to
Right.
get those features.
Right.
Or like on Frankenstein, where you want to get the eligible for the grand, you have to bet that grand ability.
That's right. Yeah, good
and
point.
That covers it for other games as well.
Yep. So read the game rules, understand when you need to max bet. Hopefully the tips today helped you guys out. And as always, gamble smart.
Gamble safe.
We'll see you tomorrow for Friday, guys.
Friday's tip.